Welcome to the first session of the Robotics in HR course, or as I call it, Robo-HR. From GPT to artificial intelligence in HR and even robots in HR work. This is a continuation of a series of courses about using artificial intelligence. We started using GPT Chat a year ago, and we trained people to use GPT Chat in recruiting and HR. Then we had an artificial intelligence in HR course where we examined different solutions. We introduced the artificial intelligence in recruiting and sourcing course. And the logical next step is to go further and talk about what else could be possible, those very robots. Perhaps this course is somewhat ahead of its time, because robots are only just emerging. But I'm sure this knowledge needs to be acquired now, because the first challenges related to artificial intelligence entering the workplace are about to emerge, and as HR professionals, we need to be ready for that. We definitely shouldn't be the last people to learn about this, the last to prepare, and then not know what to do. To prevent that from happening, we created this course. I'll show you the program. It covers many topics from basic GPT chat to advanced robots. Today we have an introductory session, an introduction to artificial intelligence. And I'll tell you about this course. There's a class in the course. You may have seen this news. OpenAI, the company that created GPT chat, recently unveiled Figure 1, their own robot. I'm going to show a video today. And they said they're starting production of 1 billion robots. 1 billion is a lot. There are approximately 1 billion cars in the world, all over the planet right now. So imagine there will be as many robots as there are cars. That's a huge number, and it's coming soon. Then Elon Musk got involved too. He didn't announce quantities, but he said that late next year they'll start the first deliveries of their robot. I'll show you that robot video today too. And Boston Dynamics is already shipping, not robots yet, but these running robot dogs of theirs. They also recently released a video of an updated version of their robot, which I'll show today. All in all, this is becoming more and more of a reality. Meanwhile, while companies are announcing their plans for robots, a video of a Chinese robot appeared today. Of course, it's simpler. The Chinese are in it too. Now, the artificial intelligence that the Chinese have created is supposedly superior to GPT chat. Anyway, China is now joining this race, and I think things will be much more interesting and faster there. So, at the same time, HR specialists are facing challenges integrating artificial intelligence and robots into workflows. They often lack knowledge, and this threatens the HR function itself as well as efficiency and competitiveness. Ignoring new technologies leads to lower productivity and employee satisfaction. So this course from GPT chat to artificial intelligence and robots in HR trains you to use artificial intelligence to optimize processes and prepare yourself and your company for future collaboration between humans and robots. A bunch of books are already coming out, and today I'll recommend 3 books on human-robot interaction. I understand it may sound unfamiliar for now, but that's how it was with artificial intelligence. It was all unfamiliar and confusing. Then they released GPT chat, and it simply became a working tool for everyone. It burst into our lives, this GPT chat, and it's being actively used. The scale of it is just staggering. Why is it necessary to learn this kind of information? I think the time is very near when all job listings, not just for HR professionals, I think many positions will require some form of knowledge of artificial intelligence, and a little later, working with robots. That is, they will demand an understanding of how to integrate humans and robots. And you can get ahead of your competitors, other HR professionals and other companies. If you're the first to study these technologies, learn how to work with them, feel comfortable with them, and maybe even be able to train companies on this issue. This is the course website. This is what it looks like. I'll tell you a little bit about myself. My name is Mike Pritula, and the companies I've worked for include Alpha Bank, Starlight Media, STB TV Channel, and Wargaming IT. In terms of the context of today's session and this course, I'll say that I've always been fascinated by computers and technology. I got a computer at a pretty early age. I studied programming languages. I used to build computers myself when I was a student. I studied 3D graphics, made some 3D videos. So technology is my life, let's put it that way. I'm close to it all, I'm interested in it all. When GPT chat came out, they even released some early beta version access, and I was among the first few tens of thousands of people who signed up. They announced it that morning. I read the news and registered right away. I even had to use a phone number from another country because Ukraine wasn't on the list. I was the first to record a YouTube video on how to use it, and I tested a bunch of features. So, there you have it. Innovation is my element, and I want it to become your element as well. Companies love this, and companies benefit from it. In my work, I rely on best practices. Here's a list of practices I recommend tracking. And please write down what position you hold. I'm also curious to see who here is interested in robots. In this course, you will have homework assignments. Today, you'll get your first interesting homework assignment, which is unusual and non-traditional for HR. By completing all of them, you'll receive a diploma showing you understand robots in HR. I have no idea how soon anyone else in the world will start issuing these kinds of diplomas, so you're guaranteed to be the first. We issue our diploma on the online platform Accreditable, where Google, for example, also issues its diplomas. Course syllabus. Today we're talking generally about artificial intelligence, its capabilities, what to expect, and so on. Then we'll break down ChatGPT in detail, how to use it, maximize its potential, and apply it most effectively. So I'm reading your responses. We have an IT recruiter? Excellent. Thank you, Olga. Then we'll discuss process automation and improvement with ChatGPT and decision analytics based on ChatGPT. So we have 3 classes specifically on ChatGPT, which has a free version. The only thing is that some features are only available in the paid version, but there are alternatives. There you go. So we'll have 3 classes on ChatGPT, then 4 classes on artificial intelligence in different areas. These will cover various AI-based solutions. For example, something in recruiting, something in training. We'll look at how to create a course in just a couple clicks using AI. The last 2 classes are fully about robots, how we prepare for what I envision one day. I honestly think about this a lot. I imagine it happening one day. An executive comes into the office with a robot. Robots walk around and say, "Hi," probably addressing HR. "This is our new employee, robot so-and-so. Please take care of him, introduce him to other staff, help him adapt." And I envision this day. It's going to be incredible. I also want to say what I definitely wouldn't want, for people to be afraid of robots. Look at ChatGPT. It appeared, and in principle, very positively. It makes a lot of work easier. It doesn't threaten or replace us, it helps. Basically, robots will help too. At first, they won't be everywhere, but there will be many of them. They won't be super advanced. Their presence won't take away our jobs, but reorient us. There will be a bunch of new jobs, even in robot manufacturing plants, so there will always be enough work and money for people. One of the positive benefits of robots that's already trending is the 4-day work week. People have wanted to switch to a 4-day week for a long time, and they say that thanks to AI and robots, this idea will become even more of a reality. Want to start? Let's look at more options we've covered. All right. Yes, thank you, Katya. Today we're talking about the basics of artificial intelligence. What technologies exist, future trends, HR needs for AI capabilities, what robots already exist and which will appear soon, what OpenAI's ChatGPT is capable of, and a framework for us to consider, the 3 laws of robotics and their application in HR. Okay, let's begin. The foundation of artificial intelligence in HR. What do we call artificial intelligence? Artificial intelligence is a system capable of performing tasks that require human intelligence. So it's essentially intelligence, but artificial yet similar to human intelligence. It can perceive, reason, learn, and solve problems. Pretty much everything a human can do. What artificial intelligence can already do now? In fact, it's been almost more than 1 year since publicly available AI, which began development about 5 years ago, so it's not new as a technology. Some early prototypes existed long ago. I remember in 2000 something or 2001, Mail.ru released some kind of chatbot that is AI in the form of a chat. It was a program you could download and communicate with, and it communicated quite well. Before ChatGPT, there were attempts to offer something similar. There were some dialogue bots, but ChatGPT brought it to a whole new level, of course. What can AI already do? Write texts. We write texts in HR, job descriptions, letters to candidates, policies, employee handbooks, announcements for upcoming summer corporate events, and anything else. It writes these brilliantly. create images and illustrations, also for any messages, posters, improve texts, analyze information in any volume, create documents, work with and create files, match candidates with job openings, help train employees, and advise employees on all company policies and processes. This is already possible now. What? Based on what we're already seeing now, what companies have already created, what processes do we see as most amenable to AI implementation? Resume screening. AI can analyze hundreds of thousands or even millions of resumes, quickly identifying which are more suitable for the job and which are less so. Initial interviewing, there are various technologies for this as well, which work great. Handling any employee queries, providing consultations, and giving informative responses. Content creation includes training and employee data analytics. This is where artificial intelligence could very well outpace human capabilities to do things in a high-quality, fast, affordable way, and there's already a solution. Next, advantages over humans. They released a new robot today, the Chinese, and they even have a comparison on their website. It's also starting to happen. It begins, how is a robot better than a human, or how is a human better? I'm going to show you this link, it was fun. Oops, what was that I clicked? Here you go. The Chinese released it today. They have an attribute. It's entirely in Chinese, but they did an English translation. When I switched to English, I was surprised. The page is about to load. They compare robots to humans. Maximum speed, adult male robot 10 meters per second, male 7 meters per second. Maximum acceleration, the robot is faster. Single arm load, how much an arm can lift 10 payload, and, well, yes, there are two kinds of indicators. So on and so forth. That is, the repetitiveness of the pose is more accurate than in humans, but already compares robots to humans. This is the one to prepare for. What are the advantages of artificial intelligence over humans? It can handle any volume, huge volumes. That is, to analyze what a human will not read in a lifetime, artificial intelligence will instantly analyze. No emotion, no prejudice. This is both a disadvantage and a disadvantage. This is why the HR profession is not doomed. There is a big role for emotions in our profession. A big role for socialization and live interaction, so we won't be completely replaced. Different from, for example, accountants, human resources, lawyers, financiers, and so on. So for artificial intelligence, on the one hand, it is a plus, on the other hand, a minus. Much lower error rate, artificial intelligence gets it wrong. Realistically mistaken, those who chat with GPT chat a lot, can even spot spelling errors. Because the chat is GPT and learned from text that people wrote with mistakes too. And artificial intelligence has encyclopedic data, meaning it has a lot of knowledge. These are its advantages. What are the main uses in HR? Well, you can just use GPT chat or similar. There are many of them already. Microsoft Copilot. Binge on search engine Bing has its own chatbot too, and it's free, also artificial intelligence. Google has it. At the Meta, their Llama came out. Artificial intelligence, it's not available in all of them yet, so on and so forth, and there will be more to come. There's a GPT analysis chat. It's in GPT version 400. You can upload files asked to analyze. It's more advanced. There's a GPT chat. It's a thing. Well, we'll talk in class about pumping GPT. The gizmos are essentially chat GPTs trained on your data. That is, you can upload your files and it will communicate and produce answers tailored to your data. Next, you can build artificial intelligence into your company's chatbot to communicate with employees or candidates. You can use Microsoft Copilot, it's out now, can help them create texts, analyze spreadsheets, create presentations, or Google has an alternative, Google Gemini Advanced. That is, you can create some kind of policy in a Google document. Then there are plugins based on artificial intelligence, for example, to communicate with candidates, to personalize candidate emails. There are complete solutions. Next, we'll have a slide with a list of solutions that are already actively implementing artificial intelligence. It's HRS. Bingo. I'm sorry, really, see? Here are some AI-powered robots coming soon, a video of which I'll show you soon. Well, that's just to scare you. There won't really be a full-fledged replacement for HR in robots. When some of the robot roles may not go away, simple ones like office management may go away. What does the research say? There are tons of studies, a few I've added. Maybe it would be helpful for someone to show the manual. Artificial intelligence saves tons of time. That is the most modest 30%, either saving time or increasing productivity. 30% savings or productivity improvement is what companies have always dreamed of, what they've always been looking for, trying to achieve. Now it lies before them. Unfortunately, not everyone is using it yet, but the smartest, the fastest are starting to actively implement and use it, because they realize that whoever is first wins. What do we have now? So there's a clear solution like Elephant, Ziefeld, Marisa, and in fact there are many more that are already actively implementing artificial intelligence in their processes. For example, here let me show you this ZV. They've got a fudge of articles out there already on how they're using this in their system. This is their website. And then right there on the website, they show the development of trainings. It says how artificial intelligence prepares trainings. Let's how artificial intelligence prepares development plans. It's supposed to be a video now section. They're changing the site. It's you have to register. Actually, they have a video somewhere that shows their capabilities. They'll see what they've hidden again. Yeah, well, let's go video free today. I'm him. And here it is. Just a second, I'm looking for the sound to be turned up. Yeah, look at this. That was pretty fast, right? Well, that's what people developing with Xavi is like. Meet Xavi, your new AI assistant. No other solution will allow you to launch effective people development that connects career frameworks, feedback, and growth at this speed. With Xavi AI, it takes just seconds to set up a tailored career framework, not hours. They show that development takes just a couple of seconds with this one. It takes seconds to run a state-of-the-art performance review and just one extra to personalize feedback based on individual competency requirements. It takes 15 seconds. It's a short course. Obviously, it's not a detailed course, but still, 25 minutes to create an entire library of 100 courses. And no worries, engagement is guaranteed with quizzes, images, and videos. It takes 0 clicks to launch personalized growth plans for your team. It just happens automatically. And that is just the tip of the iceberg. In general, this is how implementation looks. That is, all these functions are introduced, but decisions are made in the classroom. Moving forward with the profiles, we will be looking at these examples and seeing how they work. Understanding HR needs and AI capabilities, what we need and what it can do. It can perform many routine tasks. It is great because it leaves more time, either to communicate with employees, or to develop something new, or to implement changes, where time is often lacking simply because of some trivial, boring routine. It can greatly improve the hiring process by better analyzing candidates, comparing them to job openings, and so on. It is better at personalizing learning programs. We typically have one program for the entire company. Employees are different, experiences are different, capabilities and preferences are different. Artificial intelligence can take one program and completely customize it to fit an individual. With analytics, we are talking a lot about HR analytics right now, and that is where artificial intelligence can build predictive models. That is, not only analyzing what is happening, but also predicting based on the analysis that an employee may soon quit. It can improve interaction with employees. I also recently read many studies that in these percentages of cases, people are no longer able to distinguish whether they are communicating with a robot or a human in dialogue or correspondence. And in terms of ethics and compliance, artificial intelligence may be more demanding here. That is, a manager will not force or intimidate as they might do with a human. What kind of robots already exist? Now let us look at all these types. For example, this is what a robot from Tesla looks like. It is called Optimus, and it is the second generation, which replaced the first generation just a year later. That is how the first generation was, but they do not show it. The first one, this is what the first generation looked like. And here is the second generation already. Look at the robot's capabilities, and I will press pause here. This is what Elon Musk said would start being delivered in 2025. He's sometimes off by a year. Tesla Cybertruck. Everyone thought, come on, Elon Musk won't release these Cybertrucks. No one believed it. But please, this year they are already starting to appear more and more around the world, released and driving. Well, there you have it. The same with Starlink. People didn't believe it was possible to provide satellite internet access to the whole world. Starlink, please. Almost anywhere in the world you can get good, fast internet for about $100 a month, and so on. So in general, you can trust Elon. He managed to launch a rocket and return it to Earth in one piece. This launch stage was also able to do it. And this one will be able to. It already has. Let's watch the video. You see, please imagine you're in your office, in your company, an executive or whoever. The shareholder or marketing director brings in a robot like this. Now it will be working with us. Feel that emotion. Imagine this moment. It's coming very soon. It's going to be cool, refreshing. Look, these kinds of movements. Well, there you go. This is Tesla. Okay, next. Now this is Boston Dynamics, the guys who made those twitchy robot dogs. They showed a robot last year. Well, there it is. And just a year later, they released this one. Compare the size. There's something massive here with things sticking out. Apparently hoses, because they have given up on using hydraulics in robots. An all-electric robot is much more compact. Look at its movement. They only recently unveiled this new Atlas robot. The same goes for language models. Artificial intelligence also has a big variety. There is ChatGPT, there is GPT-4, Copilot, Google Advanced. Twitter recently released their own version, also advanced. There is Perplexity and Perplexity Lab, where incidentally you can test the new model from Meta. Merlin, there are entire systems with many language models that you can choose from internally. For example, if you are interested in how Meta will work, you can open it up and choose Llama here. They have even added more new Llama models here. But this is how artificial intelligence will work noticeably. Tell me about the robot. It writes. Next, what is it capable of? I think Figure 01 is one of the most serious robots because it can communicate. Thanks to the ChatGPT they put in there that can speak with a voice. I use it on my phone and computer too, by the way, they added it. You can communicate with ChatGPT by voice. It is convenient to do it on your phone. That is what I do sometimes. I turn on voice chat. They added this feature to the robot. Look at how this robot is so much more advanced than all the others. Figure 01. What do you see right now? I see a red apple on a plate in the center of the table, a drying rack. First, he described the picture. Basically, this is normal for any robot. All the previous ones also analyze what is in front of them. They are analyzing what it is. What we have seen here from the demonstration is speech synthesis. That is, he responded verbally and reacted to the human. While a normal robot analyzes and performs some action like walking, this one reacted to a human. But that is not all. Let us keep looking. If there is anything here to eat, the robot made the decision on what to give the human, a very complex task. And you can explain why you did what you did while picking up trash at the same time. So there is both multitasking and self-reflection here. Reflection on it. So I gave you the apple because it is the only edible item I could provide you with from the table. Great. So based on what is here right now, where do you think the dishes in front of you go? Soul. The dishes will go on. The dishes on the table, like that plate and cup, are likely to go into the drying rack next. Great. Can you put them there? Of course. All right, so how do you think you did? I think I did pretty well. The apple found its new owner, the trash is gone, and the tableware is right where it belongs. I agree. Thanks, V1. You are welcome. If you need help, just let me know. Well, what else is interesting about this robot, unlike all the others where they program every movement and reaction, is that here it just learns. So it has learned. It even says fully trained in the description. So roughly speaking, the person showed it a few times, they showed it a bunch of videos, and it learned from that. Of course, there's a big question about what it will be trained on, whether it will be shown some incorrect training. But overall, I can see that this type of robot can already perform some simple basic work in a company. They improve them. And it's clear that very soon this robot will move like a human, just as smoothly, will look more natural, will be faster, smarter, and so on. But already now it can quite easily perform some simple work and errands in companies, especially in production. And lastly, I'd like to discuss this thing with you, the 3 laws of robotics. Isaac Asimov, a science fiction writer who did a lot in the field of robots, came up with all sorts of things, more philosophical than technical. He formulated 3 laws of robotics. First law, a robot must not harm a human being. By the way, in the movie I, Robot with Bruce Willis, not Bruce Willis. God, what's his name? As practiced. My name is the actor who played in black in those movies. It's in there too. So the first law is that a robot must not harm a human being. The second law is that the robot must Will Smith. Thank you, Danila. A robot must obey the orders of a human unless it contradicts the first law. And the third law is that a robot must protect its own existence as long as it does not contradict the first and second laws. It's useful to think, in the context of HR, how this will work, what laws and principles the robot will obey, how it will not offend employees, how it will defend itself, to what extent it will be acceptable to defend itself against employee insults, but employees can push, humiliate, try to break it. And here's the robot, it has to both protect itself and not let itself be broken. So it's useful to think, in the context of HR, how this would work. In what ways should the robot do no harm? Is it only physical harm or moral harm too? For example, if a robot morally offended a person, the person came and told the HR or supervisor, "The robot offended me, said I'm not doing this well. It offends me, I can't work." So how should the company respond? Or if the robot must obey orders, and a person gives some stupid, abnormal, or immoral order, but it doesn't harm the person, should the robot carry it out? I don't know. He'll say, "Look, climb a 5-story building and jump off it." It's a stupid order, it's stupid, it doesn't harm a person, it doesn't harm, but you don't need to carry it out. And where's the line between what needs to be done and what doesn't? Well, I've talked about protecting itself too. I think that, first of all, legislation is already starting to appear in this direction. Secondly, it will continue to appear. And what needs to be thought about is what possible situations with employees can occur between robots and employees and how to regulate them. Homework in this context for those on the course. By the way, for those not on the course, I also recommend doing it, only I won't be able to check it, but you'll just do it for yourself. For those on the course, this is your homework. Those not on the course can still join, connect, go through it with us. So imagine that tomorrow your company receives Fig 1 from OpenAI as an experiment to work in the company. That is, it doesn't matter what your budget is, it's not about buying it, you get it. So what would be your action plan as HR for implementing the robot in work with employees? Write out at least 10 very specific actions. Look at these books: The Future of Work, Robots, AI, and Automation, Human plus Machine, Reimagining Work in the Age of AI, and another book on how humans and machines can be smarter together. There are actually many books like these. These are probably the 3 most recommended on this topic for anyone interested in starting to think about human-robot interaction. In the second session, we'll talk about ChatGPT and VR capabilities. So join in, let's go through this together. In 10 sessions, you'll advance in the field of AI and HR, from ChatGPT to solutions in process automation using artificial intelligence, and to the point where robots will actually work alongside us. That's all. Thank you to everyone who was online with me today. See you soon. Bye-bye.